Hello children, here is lesson 5 Rajputs in Indian history. Let's have a small introduction. The Rajput dynasties played an important role in Indian history from 650 to 1200 CE. They had played an important role in Indian history. Now, who are Rajputs? Let us study who are Rajputs. Rajputs are known for their valor and adventurous spirit. So, valor means having great courage in face of danger, especially in battle. And adventurous spirit. They had adventurous spirit also. The Rajputs who were warriors claimed their descents. Descent means an act of moving downwards or dropping. Okay. From the ancient Kshatriya dynasty such as Surya Vamsha and Chandra Vamsha. The Rajputs ruled over the period of 500 years in North India. So, how many years did they rule? 500 years in North India. And this was a glorious period because they ruled for 500 years in North India. It was considered as a glorious period in the history of India. And how they fought? They fought fearlessly, without fear. They fought against the invasions of Arabs, the Turks and the Afghans and as well as all Mughals. So they were so much courageous and brave people. Now let us study the Rajput dynasties. Several Rajput dynasties played an important role in Indian history. The prominent Rajput dynasties, namely the Pala. So among the so many dynasties ruled over Indian history, among them few dynasties are very popular or namely they are prominent or important, namely they are Pala, the Pratihara, the Paramara, the Chauhan, the Guhila, the Solanki as well as Gaharwal are among 36 royal families. Among 36 royal families, which are the prominent Rajput dynasties that ruled the Palas, the Pratihara, the Paramara, the Chauhan, the Gaharwal, the Guhila and Solanki. Among these, the achievements of Pratiharas. The Palas, the Chauhans and Guhilas are explained in this lesson. Firstly, let us study the Pratiharas. The Pratiharas were ruling from Avanti. From where they started their rule? Avanti, that is Ujjaini in which state? Madhya Pradesh state. The famous ruler of the dynasty was Nagabhatta. So, who was the famous ruler of this dynasty? Nagabhatta. And the credit also goes to whom here? For Nagabhatta. For what? For defending India. From whom? From Arab invasion. And also he built a vast empire. So, Nagabhatta plays an important role as a famous ruler of this dynasty. King Bhoja was a great ruler of the dynasty, also a good writer. So, who was a good writer? After Nagabhatta, King Bhoja was also a ruler, great ruler of the dynasty and a good writer. He captured the famous city of Kannauj and defeated Palas of Bengal. The Arab traveler Suleiman, who visited the kingdom, stated that King Bhoja was a noble king. So, who visited India? So, the Arab traveler by name Suleiman. He visited the kingdom stating that King Bhoja was a noble king, the enemy of Arabs and commanded an efficient cavalry. So, he is the enemy of Arabs and commanded an efficient cavalry. Cavalry means soldier who fought on horseback. That is known as cavalry. So, who was the famous king of Pratiharas? That is Nagabhatta was the famous king of Pratihara. After Nagabhatta, King Bhoja was also another great ruler of this dynasty. Now, let us study the Palas. The Palas ruled for about 4 centuries. How long did they rule? For about 4 centuries. Dharmapala was the most competent ruler of the dynasty. So, among the Palas, who was the most competent ruler? Had competition, that is Dharmapala. His kingdom was one of the notable republican states of North India. How was his kingdom? It was a notable republican states of North India. The conquest of the famous city of Kanauj was his memorable achievement. Whose memorable achievement? That is Dharmapala's memorable achievement, the conquest of the famous city Kanauj. The Pala dynasty was overthrown by whom? Vijaya Sena. Pala dynasty was defeated by Vijaya Sena. He was a ruler from Karnataka, or he is from Karnataka, and established Sena dynasty. So who established Sena dynasty? That is Vijaya Sena, a ruler of Karnataka, defeated who? Which dynasty? Pala dynasty. The Palas were the followers of Buddhism. They were the followers of Buddhism. They patronized Hindu Dharma and they loved Hindu Dharma. They showed special interest to the spread of education. They founded the University of Udantapura and Vikramshila. So, they founded the two universities, that is Udandapura and Vikramshila. Next, let us study another important dynasty, that is the Chauhans. Prithviraj III was a well-known ruler among the Chauhans. So, who was a well-known ruler among the Chauhans? Prithviraj III. He ruled from Delhi. So, who was a well-known ruler among Chauhans? That is Prithviraj III, and he ruled from Delhi. And here is a small or fascinating story for you children. That is the Prithviraj Chauhan marrying Samyukta. Prithviraj Chauhan getting marrying whom? Samyukta, the daughter of Jayachandra. So Samyukta was the daughter of whom? Jayachandra, the king of Kanauj. So who was Jayachandra? The king of Kanauj. Has been narrated in several literary works of the period. Samyukta was born for her bewitching beauty. Bewitching beauty means what? Enchanting or delightful beauty. There was enmity between Jayachandra and his relative Prithviraj. So they were not in good terms. Who were not in good terms? Jayachandra, the king of Kanauj, as well as and his relative Prithviraj. They had enmity. Jayachandra had not invited Prithviraj for Swayamvara of Samyukta. So Jayachandra was not invited Prithviraj for a Swayamvara of Samyukta. Why he was not in Swayamvara means to choose the husband. He was not invited. Who was not invited? Prithviraj. Instead, he placed a statue of Prithviraj at the entrance of the palace, in order to project him as a palace guard and insult him. In order to insult Prithviraj, Jayachandra placed his statue in front of the palace gate as a palace guard to insult him. Samyukta was deeply in love with Prithviraj. But here what happened? Samyukta was deeply in love with Prithviraj, ignored all the princes assembled for Swayamvara. Ignored all the princes who had assembled for Swayamvara, went to the palace gate and garlanded the statue of Prithviraj. And for whom she garlanded? For the statue of Prithviraj. Then what happens? See, Prithviraj, who was hiding all the time behind the statue, carried her away on his horseback. Prithviraj, what he did? He was always hiding behind the statue and carried away on his horseback to his palace and married her. This episode intensified the enmity between two royal families. So this episode what made created more enmity between between the two families. When Muhammad Ghori invaded India, Prithviraj opposed him. Who opposed? Prithviraj opposed Muhammad Ghori. He gained the support of several Rajput rulers against the common enemy. He was a common enemy. Who was a common enemy here? Prithviraj. And he got the support of several Rajput rulers. Why? Because Muhammad Ghori invaded India. However, Jayachandra of Kanauj, he was a king of Kanauj, refused to join him. But when other Rajputs gave him the support to whom Prithviraj Jayachandra refused to give the support. In the battle that took place, Prithviraj defeated Muhammad Ghori. So, battle took place, and in that battle, who was defeated? Who defeated Muhammad Ghori? Prithviraj defeated Muhammad Ghori. But he granted him mercy. So, here Jayachandra, the king of Kanauj, granted him mercy for whom? For Prithviraj, and let him off. Next year, Muhammad Ghori challenged Prithviraj. Once again, there was a challenge to Prithviraj. In the second battle that ensued, Prithviraj was defeated and killed. So what happened? In the very next year, he had to face one more battle or battlefield. So what happened? There he had a challenge. Prithviraj was defeated and killed. Soon Delhi was captured by whom? Delhi was captured by Muhammad Ghori. This made the way for the establishment of the rule of Sultans of Delhi. So after Prithviraj was defeated by Muhammad Ghori, they got the chance to establish their rule of Sultans of Delhi. Prithviraj was known for his chivalry and valor. Chivalry means for his religious and moral as well as social code. So he was known for chivalry and valor. Valor means courage. Chand Badri's Prithviraj Raso is an epic which expounds his prose. So, which expresses his epic. Here Chand Badri's Prithviraj Raso is an epic which expounds, which has value for his prose. Next, let us study the last important dynasty that is the Guhilas. The Guhilas are also known as Guhilots, belong to the lineage of great warriors. They also in the line of great warriors. Komana, a ruler of the dynasty, defended his kingdom from the Arab military expedition and conferred on himself the title Bappa Rawal. So he himself defended his kingdom. Who himself? Komana, a ruler of the dynasty, defended his kingdom. From whom? From Arab military expedition, and confirmed on himself the title of Bappa Rawal. Another notable ruler of the dynasty was Rana Kumbha, who was fought against the sultans of Delhi and defended his kingdom. He built 32 forts to safeguard his kingdom. So, in order to safeguard his kingdom, how many forts he built? He built 32 forts. He erected a magnificent Vijayastambha at Chittagarh. So, you can see here in the picture, the Vijayastambha, the victory in Chittagarh. These are some of the notable achievements of whom? Rana Kumbha. The well-known ruler among the Guhilas was Rana Sanga or Rana Sangram Singh. He was a hero of 100 battles. So, who was considered as a hero of 100 battles, children? Rana Sanga, or he was also known as Rana Sangram Singh, who had 80 wounds of war on his body. So, imagine how many wounds were there in his body. 80 scars are the wounds of 80 scars of war on his body. He constantly fought against the sultans of Delhi. He kept on fighting against whom? Against sultans of Delhi. So now we have studied the achievements of the royal family such as the Pratiharas, the Palas, Chauhans and Guhilas. Now let us study the contributions of Rajputs. To which field they have contributed? So they have contributed to economic, social, literature as well as art and architecture. First, let us study the economic conditions of the Rajputs. The Arab merchants had made foreign trade than any other nation with India. So, who made a more foreign trader than other nation in India? The Arab merchants. Spices, cotton, silk fabrics, perfumes and costly diamonds were exported. So, which were the things exported? Spices, cotton, silk, fabrics, perfumes and costly diamonds were exported. Horses were imported from Central Asia and Arabia. So, what was imported from Central Asia to Arabia? Horses were imported. The income of the kingdom was mostly spent on building forts and temples. So, what trade they used to carry on? From that income, they used to build mostly forts as well as temples. This provided employment to thousands of people. So, like this, people were provided employment. Thousands of people were provided employment. Next comes the social conditions. There were several social classes in the society. Several classes were there, social classes. They were based on hereditary professions. According to their classes, on hereditary basis, seniority basis, they were given the professions. But women were held were high esteem. Women were respected, given more respect in this. They had studied literature, Sanskrit language, and experts in dance, music, painting, and embroidery work. So, they had studied literature as well as Sanskrit language, experts in dance, music, etc., and also in embroidery work. Child marriage and sati prevailed. So, child marriage and sati was prevailed. Pushkar, the center of worship of Brahma near Ajmer, was an important place of pilgrimage. So, which was the important place of pilgrimage here? Pushkar. The camel fair, which was annually organized, is famous even now. And the camel fair which was organized are famous even now. Next comes the literature. Sanskrit literature flourished during Rajput age. So, which literature flourished are given more importance during the Rajput age? Sanskrit literature. Gujarati, Hindi and Rajasthani languages developed. Along with Sanskrit, which are other languages developed here? Gujarati, Hindi and Rajasthani languages. Chand Badri's Prithviraj Raso is a famous Hindi work of the period. So, whose work was famous in Hindi language? Chand Badri's Prithviraj Raso. And many rulers and many Rajput rulers were themselves scholars. They themselves were the scholars and they patronized poets like Jayadeva, who wrote Gita Govinda, was in the court of Sena rulers. Rajput dynasty supported Nalanda, Kashi, Vikramashila, Ujjaini and other ancient higher centers of learning. Next, the last and the foremost is the art and architecture. The contributions of the Rajput age to art and architecture is quite rich, but it is not too rich, it was quite rich. Their beautiful temples, magnificent palaces and formidable forts are survived even now. So, which are survived even now? Their beautiful temples, magnificent palaces and formidable forts are survived even today. And Kandaria Mahadeva temple. Which one? Kandaria Mahadeva temple at Khajuraho and Dilwara temple at Mount Abu are renowned temples. So they are known as the renowned temple. Gulabi Nagar, Pushkar, Hawa Mahal at Jaipur and huge palaces at Udhampur are the fine specimens of the palace and the fort. Fort architecture. The Gwalior fort in Madhya Pradesh is unique among the Indian forts, and this gigantic fort has been described as a pearl among the Indian forts. So the Gwalior fort you can see in the picture in Madhya Pradesh is unique among the Indian forts. Rajputs encourage wall paintings and miniature paintings. So wall paintings, miniature paintings means delicately drawn small paintings. It is very delicate miniature painting and these are very sensitively drawn with the intention of projecting minute details. And wall paintings means the paintings drawn on walls. The paintings were done on the walls of the palaces, temples, inner chambers of the forts and on the books as decorations. So you can see here the Hawa Mahal of Jaipur you can see as well as the Gwalior fort. So these are the contributions of whom? Contributions of Rajputs towards art and architecture. See children, here is a note. Nowadays we use CE. CE means what? Common era. BCE means before the common era, synonymously with AD, Anno Domini or year of our Lord, and BC means before Christ, and this change has been occurred from the secular point of view. Hope all have understood this chapter children. Thank you.